Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another Battlefield 1 video. So what I wanted to talk to you guys about today is why you guys should use the medic class in Battlefield 1 and a good setup for you to do so. So let's start off of why you should use it, and then we'll get into the class setup in a little bit. So obviously one of the main reasons people use medic is to pick up their teammates and to be able to revive them and stuff like that, because obviously if you're in a game mode where you need to revive your teammates and it's beneficial to you, obviously that's pretty important in the game. So if you're running with something like with a grenade launcher on the end of your gun, you're not really helping your team out at all because you're not going to be able to revive anyone, and that kind of defeats the whole purpose of playing as a medic, because the main purpose to play as a medic is to revive your teammates. So sometimes it is necessary to run with a grenade launcher, but most of the time you're going to want to be able to revive people. The second reason most people probably play with medic is because of the guns. Some people don't really want to use assault rifles and they kind of want a medium to close range gun, and sometimes that can be used at long range. So I think the medic is the perfect class for that, because depending on what gun you use, the medic can be really good up close and it can also be good at long range. So it really depends. I would say it's a pretty rounded class overall. And now that they did add where it shows where people who are down are, I think that's a real improvement to the game, also as playing as a medic. But let's talk about the class setup that I like to use. Obviously, it's going to be different for everyone, and you can pretty much use whatever you want. I'm just going to give you guys a base setup that I think is pretty good using a medic. Now, this is all just personal preference, and you guys can change it however you like. You don't even have to use any of it if you don't want to. But I would usually use the M19 sweeper. Now it really depends if you're going to be doing a lot of up close or far away. The sweeper actually works really good up close, not as good as obviously like an assault rifle or a shotgun or something like that, but it's not too bad. At long range though, it's a little bit worse than at close range. I would say at long range you're probably going to want to switch to one of the other semi-automatic rifles, but it's not too bad overall. I would say it's a good close to medium range if you're going to be playing as a medic. If you're going to be playing in a more long range map, you're probably going to want to switch to one of the other ones, but I would say it's a pretty good gun overall as the main primary gun. It does have a lower damage output than some of the other longer range ones, but obviously that's what you're going to get because it is fully automatic too, so that is another plus to it. If you're looking at something that is a scout rifle kind of, but something that you don't have to press the trigger every time, this is the way to go. I like to use this one. You can use whatever you want though. But anyway, let's get right into the secondaries. Now for my secondaries, I like to use the default pistol that it comes with. I believe it's the M9 or something like that. I use the Hellfighter edition though, just because I obviously got it and it's a little bit better than the default one. But I don't really care for any of the pistols, so I just use the default one. I think it's pretty good. The Hellfighter one is pretty good too. You're going to use bandages so that way you can obviously give yourself pretty much unlimited health, I would say. Honestly, I think the medic is probably my favorite class. So that's pretty much all I use, just because you can pretty much heal yourself unlimited times, or at least it seems like it. You can just keep throwing down bandages. As long as you're not dying, you're going to be good, and you can just keep throwing bandages over and over again. Besides being able to pick up your teammates, you can also throw them bandages. Now this seems like it'd be a pretty important role for your team, especially if you're playing with like a group of friends and you guys are just going around, and then one of your friends gets, let's say, put down. Instead of them having to die and respawn, you can just pick them up and then you can throw them a bandage and they're all good again. You can just keep doing that over and over. I think the medic is a very useful class, to be honest, but I think you're going to probably want to use bandages and being able to revive people. Don't use like the grenade launcher or something unless you need it. Sometimes I will use it, I'm not going to lie, and I think it's not really worth it. I'd rather be able to revive people, so you can do whatever you want though. Being able to revive people is a lot more important. Now in Battlefield 1, I think it's pretty interesting because I like being able to use the gas grenades. No, not everyone's going to agree with this. They might be like, why don't you just use frags or something else? Well, I really like the gas just because it can like block off certain areas and most people aren't going to run through it, obviously, unless they have a gas mask. I like just like taking it and just chucking it somewhere because I've gotten so many kills where I don't even see people, but I'll just like throw it in a room or something and then they get smoked out and they die in there. Now I think that's really useful. You guys can use whatever you want. This is just my personal preference. I like throwing it. Even if you're not going to use it, just throw it somewhere. Maybe you'll get a couple kills with it. Who knows? I do that quite a bit, and I actually get quite a couple kills with it. So you guys can really use whatever you want though. I think gas is a good choice for this class anyway, especially if you're up close and you're going to be in a lot of buildings. This is really nice for throwing into rooms and stuff like that. And obviously the last thing is the melee weapon. You can use whatever you want for that. It does not make a difference at all. If you guys would like to see another video like this one or more Battlefield videos, make sure you leave a like on this one. I plan to do some gameplays. I'm trying to get worked out where I can record party chat. But anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.